Alright, alright. Where the heck were we? And what are we doing? I'm here in No Man's Sky, showing off the incredible, horrible sound menu. I'm not gonna lie. Look at this. I have to hold it. This is on console, by the way. It doesn't start zooming until you hold it for about an hour. We're gonna put it at what it was, and I'm gonna turn my music down on my side. And by down I mean just off, because otherwise it gets overwhelming. Too many noises going on. Give me a headache. Yeah, we're back in No Man's Sky. I've been feeling more like a chill game, something to just pop into, relax, not get too stressed. Keep it with the default settings here. We got a new patch. Holy camole. Holy camole. Orbital. So they're actually letting us do some starship customizations and stuff like that. There's a lot that I've wanted to see from this game, if I'm just being totally honest, that I haven't. So maybe we'll touch on some of those things. Cause like I don't know if this is a game that I can really get into again the same way that I did the first time. I think one, because it's, you know, it's kind of that unique experience of that first time experience in the world of it. And there is like a lot. But I don't know, once you get to a certain point it all starts looking the same. So what's this? We got a creative, a survival, and a permadeath. Oh my god. What was I thinking? I don't even have a normal save. I think survival is the one I enjoyed the most. I'm pretty sure I did creative just to see what was going on. And then a permadeath save might be genuinely a lot of fun to stream. I'm just going to start with the survival one though. I don't actually remember the worlds or what I've explored in these saves. I've also played on PC. So I've kind of mixed up the saves in my mind. I don't know which one has what, but we'll find out. I'm pretty sure the game is also, I don't know if it's cross progression, but it was cross play, because I know I could play with friends on PS4 and on Xbox on PC and stuff like that. Yeah, we'll see where we are in this particular universe. We'll try and find where we are. We'll try not to get lost. We'll probably get lost anyways. And we're gonna visit all our old bases, because I used to just build bases. That's all I was. Fuck exploring the universe. I'm just gonna sit here and build shit. I don't know, it's just what my mind goes to when it comes to these kind of games. Like, I really want... I've heard a lot of really good things about Star Citizen, and it's made me want to try it. But I do really want, like a really good space sim. And, like, it doesn't have to be realistic or anything. That's why I kind of like No Man's Sky in that sense. Like, it's not realistic, really, at all. But I think there's so much they could do with it, because they just have the canvas that is space. Like, are there gas giants yet? I would love to see a fucking gas giant in this game, and I know the community's been asking about it for years, for absolute years. And you think, like, being out this long, having the kind of bounce back that it did, I think, like, I don't know, it kind of seems like they're on their heels with ideas. It seems like they're running out of ideas. They're kind of, like, going back on a couple things that they thought they could do a bit better. What is this? Oh, bro, I'm not anywhere? Okay, so this guy has no... This guy's got no bases. You're fucking with me, hold on. I've only been on one planet. Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay, so this is like... This is definitely restart territory. So let's quit to mode select. Maybe 22 is 22 seconds into the game. God, how far is our permadeath then? A minute 57? Does he have his ship yet? I'll go full screen once we're once we're in a game, or once I've decided what I'm gonna do here. Because again, I got a lot on PC, but I have other stuff downloaded. I don't really want to be like waiting for GeForce Now per se. But it might be worth it for the one-time event. If I'm just doing this once. Also, I love this. I love this loading screen, man. I love being able to like fly through the universe and like see progress 72. So I think that's how much of like these planets have been explored. 81% progress. 87, 90. I mean, that's my loading progress. Oh, it's definitely my loading progress. Okay, that's kind of a nice touch. I didn't realize they added that. Because before it used to just tell you the names of like some of the planets you're passing by, but my boy still looks like a basic bitch. I don't even have my rocket boots. Oh my god. Like, this is such an old save, I didn't even realize. And this is permadeath. So let's just not die. Do I just delete this save too? How much have I seen on this world? I've explored 2 planets in the same system. And I haven't like established a base or anything. Like, I don't think I should continue this. I feel like this is restart territory. Oh, schno. Rename current save? You're fucking with me. Okay, well, I'm super tempted to just not play on PS4 because we have nothing, like literally nothing. So that would mean starting the game from scratch, which is a bit rough, but like we could do it. So we'll think about it. But we'll see if I can. I think I'm gonna delete all those other saves. Get out of here. We need an update. God damn. Okay, well the good thing about GeForce Now is all it's got to do is update on my side, nothing else. It doesn't have to update the game or anything on my side, it does it on theirs. Which it should be updated on their systems already. Like, you're telling me this, but are you... Are you doing it? Like, you're telling me. Are you updating? Like, bro, what? Come on, GeForce, you're better than that. Just kidding, they're fucking not. Big ol' not sponsored. There you go, that looks more normal. And then what we can do, so I can go into here. I'm really debating just going to town on these suckers. Look at that, total playtime 340. Why'd that change some? Oh wait, no, that's the creative one. See, why did it change so much? But I think that's only been an hour then. An hour and 30 or 57 minutes. Like, that's nothing. So we're doing it. Oh, GeForce. Yeah, I love that you're ready now. You waited a bit too long. Okay, on. Permadeath, definitely. We can restart those, and I don't think they're the kind of saves that are gonna last long anyways, so. And then it's like, the reason I have this downloaded on my PS4 is I wanted to have it like a bedtime game, basically. So we have our TV in our little living room here in our apartment, and it can like wheel in front of the bedroom door, and it's like just far enough from the door that I can see the whole screen. So I wanted to start a save and just be able to chill before bed. But also wanted to just show this game because it's a genuinely great game. Oh, come on, NVIDIA, really? Gotta relog in. As you can see, I did not prepare. That's fine, because when I have time to do this shit, I just do it. Stay logged in on this computer. Get the old password dictionary out. Flip through my pages of joy. And find out my password. Fuck off. Fuck off, matey. I mean, it's not wrong. What the fuck? What the fuck? It's literally not wrong. What the fuck? Come on, G-Force. Such a huge pain in the ass. Like, I actually can't fucking believe it. I'm salty as shit! Reset my password, I guess. Dude, I have to do this all the fucking time. I have a fucking notebook. And I swear to God, it's not even me. It's not even because I'm forgetting them. It's just this shitty system. Can't remember my actual shit when it needs to. Delete some emails while I'm here, why not? Reset the old password. And then watch this shit. It's gonna say, well, you can't use the same password as the old one. Well then, why the fuck didn't it work? Explain that to me. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, so I guess it wasn't that. When it should have been. See, now I'm just concerned. Did someone change my password? Okay, well now that hubbub's done. Can I get back in yet? Hello? And the best part about this is there's like just gonna be a long ass queue that we're gonna have to wait in after. And it's probably not gonna be worth it because I'm only gonna be able to play for about an hour. Because that is the free system that they came up with. Which is like, it's nice. It's better than not being able to use their service, which I think it's a good service. I think it's awesome that you can like play phones or games on your phone and shit like that. But to be honest, if your connection isn't like fucking amazing, it's not gonna be a great experience. Like I've played some games like on lunch breaks before over like work Wi-Fi. And that was garbage. I'll tell you right now, that was actually like a terrible experience. But all you gotta do is you click in. 23 gamers ahead of us. That's literally nothing. And then I'm gonna make a. Oh my God, what is this? Infinite journey, explore and survive boundless universe. Relax, streamline experience, fewer systems to manage, lower costs. Okay, this is another thing as well. I'm gonna get my gripe out with this in video games in general. Timed events. I think timed events are absolute fucking bullshit when it comes to games, okay? Like, if you're gonna lock content behind a very exclusive one-time event that they can only ever get once, that is bullshit. Even if they're bringing out back this event like every once in a while, you're still timing it then and after. It's still bullshit. Just have all these expeditions available all the time. People will go back and play them whenever there's a new one. It wouldn't take away from a lot of people exploring the new expedition because they're always going to explore the new one anyways. Let them go and do the old ones at their own pace, at their own time. If you want to have the first one ever timed, sure, like whatever, but please make it accessible all the time because it's a stupid concept. It is a very stupid concept, I'm not going to lie. It baffles me that you can't do that. Or like, I think they've made it so you can properly do these expeditions on one of your saves now, which I think is pretty huge. Because like the only really thing that was helping you before, I can't even remember. I just lost my train of thought. But anyways, we're gonna start a relax run. I'm gonna stop bitching about the community events. So we'll just do relaxed on the old PS4 here. Only 9 gamers ahead of us, so we're gonna be in no time. So okay, I got one running on my PS4, one running on my PC. I bought these, I don't even know how long ago. The PS4 version I bought quite early into when it came out, and then the PC version I didn't wait too much after to get. But I waited till a sale for the second one for sure. I usually wait for a sale anyways, even for the first time I buy a game. So I probably did that in this case too. So I doubt I bought it right when it came out, because I remember the shit it got. And I don't remember... I always remember there being base building in the game, which I think came after, I don't know, a couple updates. They didn't take long to do it, but they did take their time at least a little. So by the time we load in on our PS4, we're probably going to be ready on the PC. Oh, we've been blinded. Beauty. Okay, we're going to see this twice. Oh wait, we're not, because I'm not going to start a new save on my PC. See, this is what I was worrying about though. Fuck off. Steam was unable to sync your No Man's Sky save with the Steam client. If you pay now, you may have previous game progress that you may permanently lose. Like, fuck off. What? I'm doing it anyways. Fucking doing it anyways. Yeah, that's fine. We know that. Okay, we don't need this. Also, this side needs to be quiet. Hey, yo, get in the game already. Alright, go hold the skip. So I think I can't just die when I'm out in the open. Hold on, and the music doesn't stop itself. Also, like, what is this? God. Sometimes it doesn't even open the game for you. Okay, so now, in order to make this version quiet, I have to sit here and hold this button for 10 years. Just put a slider. Just put a slider, and then have your bumpers change it by 10. Something like that. Like, there's so many better ways to do this besides accelerate it after 50% is already gone. Terrible, terrible system. You know, I will, for the most part, I will shit on this game. I will absolutely shit on this game. I do not care, like, at all. This game deserves it sometimes. A lot of people like to talk up this game like it can do absolutely no wrong. And I don't find that to be the case. You know, they had a huge flop and they worked really hard to get themselves back in like a half decent position, which I think they recovered pretty decently well. Like I will absolutely admit that. And like I love the game. I think it's a great game. I think it's a great concept, but there's so much that they could do. There's so much love that could be poured into this game a little bit extra, and like you've definitely been able to tell, like it's on a bit of a back burner now. What is my is this working on both? That's kind of crazy. Okay, that's funny. Oops, my controller and my mouse are gonna work for this. Okay, maybe I unplug the controller for the moment being. Okay, so a previous expedition, so like again, like a previous expedition that I just didn't have all the time in the world for. This is what bothers me about timed events. Okay, this is what bothers me. One last thing before I move on with my life. The thing with timed events is it's very clear and very boneheaded of developers where they don't understand that the vast majority of gamers do not have the fucking time to deal with your bullshit. They just don't. They don't want to go through your battle passes. They don't want to go through like all this random shit, because here's the thing, if they choose one game that they want to do that for, they have to only play that one game. And if you're only playing that one game, you're just in this one community. It's like the right wing, man. You just put them all in one room. Of course they're gonna say, "Well, everyone agrees with me," because you're the only one that's fucking playing the game anymore. So this is what bothers me about like Dark and Darker. It's a great game. Terrible tunnel vision community right now, and from the devs, that's all they're listening to. They're listening to the people that play their game. Of course they would. Why wouldn't they? But what they're not listening to is the casual gamer, like people that want to play the game desperately but just don't really have a lot of time. And then when they do have that short amount of time, when they put that time and effort into the game, they express this and they show this to the devs, like, hey, I wish I could get through this part a little bit faster, or I wish I could level up a little bit faster, or maybe the levels should stay in between seasons so that there's like some level of like slow actual progression that you can save throughout this. Like, I don't care if my stash wipes every single wipe. I think that's a good feature. I think that's an awesome thing. If you took that away, it would kind of ruin the game. It would ruin the balancing. I agree that it helps people get into the game a little bit easier. But when it comes to leveling and stuff like that, it's going to take forever to level these people. The people that play the game all the time anyways are going to have all of their characters maxed out instantly anyways, and the people that don't have time are the only ones left behind in the dust. So that's my problem. That's my problem with it. You're leaving a whole demographic of your community behind every single time you do stuff like this. Okay, so we have 3 normal saves. I don't know what these are about. Almost tempted to delete them. I've got a survival save that has a pretty good amount of time in it, but I want to go into this normal save. I think this is the one where I did a lot of pretty cool bases, a lot of pretty cool things. And I'd like this not to just be a video about me ranting about how shitty some other games are. And you know what? We're only going to make this one an hour long. We're only going to play the PC version. So I'm going to go ahead and just okay, I don't know how to do it on can I hold buttons? Wow, that's pretty cool. Oh, but I can't navigate the menus with my mouse. Okay, you got me. You figured it out. I guess that'd be pretty unfair if people could do that kind of stuff. Okay, anyways, throw this into rest mode. And we will just try and be on the PC version for now. I might not mind having my controller here either. I might use it for flying or something. We'll see. I have it anyways, so. But we've established we're finally getting into the game. We've shit on it enough. I'm gonna make my further recommendations later on too about the things that I'd like to see in the game. Because again, there's a lot of potential in this game. It's kind of boundless where they could go with it. It's literally a universe, not the universe, but a universe. Oh, this is fucked. I spawned in a space station. Ooh, okay, I was dead ass afraid. Oh, okay. Changed quite a bit. I do wish I could like. Oh, another thing. Can I zoom out at all? Are there more camera options yet? Camera on foot field of view. Yes, please. Just max. Okay, I can't. Hammer kite fixed. Not. What is eye level? You can invert it. That's fun. What the fuck? Third person camera movement? Unless manually adjusted by the player. Okay, let's do manual, I guess. First person head bob, I hate it. Not gonna lie. Camera shake strength, no thank you. Fuck that shit. That's fine. Keep everything normal, and then we'll just do fixed. Actually, no, we'll do eye level. Fuck it. We'll see what it actually changed. Okay, but we are rich. Okay, you know what makes me shorter? I see what's. That's fine. I'm cool with it. Holy camoli. I'm like a little bit overwhelmed even looking at this. So is this like, is this where you can customize your ships? Station core. Oh, so this is the stuff that like, cool. Okay. It's like it's cool to see like the things that used to be in the game. Like this little like circle eye was like in the game for a long time in space stations. So we were always like, oh, it does something. The space station core. It does something. Oh, I have to override it. Okay, so you still have to do that part. Okay, cool. So there's like a thing you actually have to do to unlock customizing your ship, it seems. I cannot upgrade it right now, I know that. So I don't even know like what ship I have. Like I don't want to upgrade a random ship. Ship fabricator. Construct new starship. Like a whole new one? Okay, okay, okay. Okay, that's pretty cool. I didn't know you could just do it from scratch. So yeah, you can pick your cockpit. You can pick your wings. I wonder if you can have like multiple types of wings. Because I love the droid ones, I'm not gonna lie. Definitely make a droid boy. And so you can make these pieces, it seems, as well. Like, these are actual pieces in the game now. Oh, and you can make, I see, a fighter, a hauler, your explorer. So I guess you can't have an explorer or fighter with like, you can't really mix and match too much. Which is honestly a little upsetting. I'm not gonna lie. I want less limitations in this. And then this is the appearance one. Cool. They just moved it. I gotta like explore this now. Like, what is this? Is this actually a map on the planet? That's another thing with this. They throw a lot of things like this around. But like, where does this come from? Like, give me an actual place on the planet. Mistress Gravity. I thought that was a door. Interloper. Warrior has for blank. It will glory at death rise. Help me learn your language, sir. Let's learn about friendship, huh? Wish. I wish you would leave me alone. And honestly, like, this ship is ballin' for just a base ship. Like, I'm pretty happy with it. I like that there's like some obvious, like it's a Gex or it's a, what's it called? I can't remember what they're called right now. It has been a while. The big boys. It's a big boy system. The warmongers, as they like to think of them as, but no, it's the Geks are the bad people. We all know this. They are the warmongers. Okay, so it's they kind of got rid of the side rooms and replaced it with stuff that goes further back. Like again, like did they have to take away the side rooms? Was that necessary? Like it's such a little addition that I think was like a kind of fun bit, like just more space station to explore. You know, I was anticipating a lot more than this, like a fuck ton more than. Also, is this thing watching me? Okay. Yeah, I was expecting a lot more than this. This is a little disappointing from my standpoint. You know, call me a hater or whatever, because like I've been here since the beginning of the game. I've wanted nothing but the best for this game. But I actually genuinely want to see the best for this game. Oh, I can donate. Free initiate and above. We don't really need launch fuel anymore. I can donate things. That's kind of cool. I can donate some like actual useful things to him. Okay, we're getting the fuck out of here. How do I get out of your menu, sir? Like, what the fuck? Okay, right click. I can't press escape to get out of a menu. Bad design. Not gonna lie. Just let me press escape. I don't care if I also have to hit the right click. Holy shit. Okay, how do I scan things again? This guy's a B fighter. I think ours is a B. Oh no, we have an A. Okay. So again, there's quite a bit missing here. I can't teleport out of here. There used to be teleporters to get out of here. But now there's just nothing, I guess. I don't like that you can't just fall down there. Let me just kill myself if I want to. Oh, here it is. Okay. Again, like it's all cramped into one space. Like it just doesn't look good. It just doesn't look good. What about these guys? What's actually different with this guy? Just extra missions, I guess. They're not even extra missions. Like these are all things I've seen before. So like with these things, I think they could do so much with these, and I think it would be amazing. Hunting low-level pirates. Let me hunt players. Let me hunt actual players that have built up their wanted level or whatever. Also, make a wanted level. Make it so like people can become space pirates, where they're like literally shown on the map of whatever galaxy they enter. It's like, bam, there's a space pirate in your system. It's a literal fucking player. Hunt them for like these missions, and then that way it could get people banding together to do it. And then also you can have like a rogue faction that would have, you know, the pirates working together. Defend your pirates in one of these battles. You could have like the raid a planetary deposit. I absolutely wish this was a player's base. I wish you could raid players' bases and you could have like the players make defenses, and like you don't have to make it so it just completely blows everything up and they have to rebuild. Like nah, like there's even, I don't want to call it an animation because it's not an animation, but an animation for each individual object in this game to be like broken. So like the deposit things from mining, they have a broken like animation. Look, I should even say, like they have two different versions of themselves, and one of them is the broken version. So I think it would be so easy to add that kind of stuff into player bases, make it so like some of these missions can be actually helping people out and like making people like see each other, visit each other's bases and stuff like that. Like it could be so cool. This game could be so good. And it just chooses not to be. Okay, anyways. So I got a lot of bases. I'm actually in the current system of a lot of mine. Not too many. So there's a few I want to show you. These are just all of the bases. This is other people's bases too. Okay, so let's just look at ours. A crate town is just, you know, a great town, but it's a crate town. Okay, if this one is what I think it is, based off the picture. Oh, but I have a couple with that same picture. Fuck. Oh, here it is. Okay, so I was really proud of that one, so we'll go visit that one after, but actually we'll go to it first. Okay, so this is one of my favorite, absolute favorite bases I think I've ever built in this game. It took a decent amount of time. And like I think this is one of the reasons why I want the people in the space station, like the guild people. I want missions that send me to other people's bases so that I can just go explore other people's bases, like more naturally, I should say. Because like there is ways, like I can go into that TP, I can look at all the bases of the people that are in the same system, go visit them. I think they might still have it where they had like community highlights for bases and stuff like that. And like it's a big game. There's a lot of people in it. You could have that kind of stuff for a very long time. But I don't remember them updating it too often when I used to play. So I don't know if they've really kept up with that, but hard to say. Cheeky little save. So it's a storm, funnily enough. So we'll hide inside for a moment here. But yeah, this is all player built. This whole thing player built. I don't think it's all loaded in yet. Or at least you can't see the other half, but you can see some of the lights on this side. So I got lights, I got banners, I got a whole ass arena out here. That's wonderful. Holy shit, great timing. So we'll go on the outside for a second here. On the outside, it is quite literally just a massive arena. It is just huge. It's what, like 5 stories, 6 stories tall. You could just walk up it, do your thing, but no, we're gonna go down maybe. This isn't really the entrance, but also like where was the flashlight in this game? That was the scanner. That's melee. The zoom. We got solar panels. Not doing shit. Oh, if they change that, I'm gonna be a little upset. Used to be able to put solar panels away from the sun. Be super cheeky about it. I don't think they changed it from the looks of it. So yeah, there's an entrance here. This is the proper entrance to the Coliseum. So these are like the team rooms, I guess you should say. Just a general store. It's just another thing. I wish you could add like some actual stores. This is just like a storage space. Although they did clean it up a bit, and the fact that I can like put things between my menu a little bit faster is pretty nice, pretty nice. But no, we got an automatic door here into the arena. One of my favorite builds, again, I think I've ever built. So it's like, yeah, it's just a raid deposit. And like, I would absolutely love if people like came to raid this specific deposit and like all my shit's here. Because like, this is just, again, one of the best builds I think I've ever done in my life. Like, it's just, it's huge. It's huge. There's not like a lot to it in terms of like I didn't want to put benches everywhere because it would kind of look like shit. The stairs are uneven because the building is not the best in the game. But I worked with what I had. Oh my god, I'm really on the outside now, hey. I worked with what I had. I kind of just made it work. But yeah, there's a bunch of holes in the Coliseum. Bunch of holes. So you gotta watch your step. I tried to fill most of them. And we do have some benches up here. So I was starting to think about it. Oh my god. Mind the holes! I do have some like more natural just holes. But the stairs up and down, you know, don't trust them. Use your jetpack to get around. I had like a little booth kind of going on here. And then we had, at least I thought this used to be like an elevator up, but maybe it's an elevator down. So this is supposed to be like the living quarters of all the contestants of the arena. Again, another thing I wish I could kind of add is like more NPCs that are just like roaming around. Because it could be nice to have people like in here and roaming around doing shit. But no, we got the arrows telling us go up. I guess we are at the top. So where's the... No, is this the same building? So like I'm a little lost in my own building here. And I also don't really know how to get back into first person. So it's kind of an issue. Okay, something is missing. Because I'm supposed to get to the top of this. Like another way. Oh, shit. I fell down. It happened? Oh, I see. So I had like, you just go up a little bit. Oh my god. It's not janky, don't worry. Jesus Christ. You go up here, and then you go up more. And then you are at the balcony of all balconies. And it's built on a pretty nice planet. I don't know if there is some sentinel activity here for sure, else we wouldn't have that deposit. But yeah, this is it. This is the old arena. For some reason, someone just landed in it. Very rude, sir. But it's pretty fun. You can like just start attacking that, and then all the sentinels will start coming. The one thing that's kind of jank about it, I didn't actually make it big enough. Ironically enough, even though it's pretty huge. Oh, it needs to be even bigger because when you start attacking this, some of them spawn on the outside of the arena, so it just becomes like a truly massive battlefield where the arena is just involved in the chaos. And then of course I built some proper platforms at the very top, so you could walk around the whole thing. This is what I would consider like the Julius Caesar spot. The man, the myth, the legend. But no, not much going on. Not much going on. Ooh. Oh my god. Please no. How do I do things again? Let's go with the old oxygen, huh? Yeah, super jank. It's kind of... You can't like really put pieces inside of pieces. So you can't like fit them to be nicer basically. And smoother to walk on, all that jazz. It just doesn't work. What else do we have here? I remember just building a bunch of things because I had built this place, but let's go to... Can I like... Oh, there we go. Hold the tag. Nice. I'm pretty sure that is one of my other home bases on this planet. So we'll go check it out. We'll go remind ourselves what we were doing over there. Yeah, the arena's kind of nice. Again, another thing I wish would be a little bit better. Once you start flying away, like look how janky it starts getting. Like it looks fine right now. Let me go a little bit further. Oh, and look at that. It's even like, it's struggling when I like load it in and out of existence. Okay, you can still see it from decently far away, but I don't know. Things kind of take a janky amount to load in, and then things don't like to load in like everything in this game. Like it kind of chooses priorities, which is fine. Like it makes sense. How far are we? We're 7 minutes away. Okay, let's kick it into orbit maybe. Wait, hold on. What's this one? did just save like some random abandoned huts and stuff like that. Because I think this one in particular, if we look around it, yeah, see it's got those eggs. Those eggs are pretty valuable right next to the little place. So it is good to have an abandoned place or two kind of marked down for yourself. I love going in and out of the atmosphere in this game. I'm not gonna lie, like that's a fun one. And like this like intermediate atmosphere, whatever this is, whatever it's called in real life, like I like that there's the separation, you know, there's space, there's the thin clouds right above me, and then there's the atmosphere right below me that you can kind of like I love the purple, man, it's so good. Some parts of this game make me happy, and the other just frustrate the shit out of me. Again, like it's such a labor of love that I would love again to see them put that effort in again and like really want to make the game amazing and have like a lot of unique aspects to it. I don't know what that is. What are all the other bases we have around here? Got a main hub. Hoyer Hunter's Wrench Cabin. So like that's another one of the abandoned ones that give me the good eggs. The Skinny Isles was just a random set of islands I found. And Meteor Hill. I'm gonna assume a place with a meteor. And like for how fast you can travel through the world, being able to like go into these different things, like of course it's gonna take a while to load in. Like I can't expect the most out of it. And also like it's my hardware. Like I have an old system. Oh my god. Okay, that's scary. So here we have Mount Tarasu. This is not the main place that I had. I think it was the main hub. That was the other one. Oh my god. Yeah, this is just half built over here. Okay, so this is the main hub is what I wanted. I think I just saved that because it was like a mountain. Made me happy. Can I like, oh, I can't just, oh, there we go. Nice. Wonder if I could change what I had tagged, and I could. Upgrade the exosuit at a drop pod. It's like a lot of this game, and I think a lot of the enjoyment in this game honestly comes from the beginning of it, where you're exploring, you're saving up your money, you're finding like cool ships, and like I guess now in this case you can build your own ships, so like being able to find the things that make it so you could build these ships. Here we go. Let's go a little bit above the clouds so we don't get too blindsided in here. We have 30 minutes up top at the GeForce Now free timeline. So yeah, when I want to play it for free, I can only play an hour at a time. Sad but true. Alright, so this is my main hub. I want to say this is the first base that I built here. So I've got a little town down there. I've got some light poles that go up and down. So there's actually power lines, like legit power lines between those, but we're a little too far away to see them. You can call your starship from here, which I think is a nice touch of the launching pads, actually. You could just call your starship all the time. Let's summon the rover. Keep it on the platform. So I got this little cabin up here. You can change your appearance, go to bed. Again, another thing. I wish you could go to bed in this game. I wish you could actually just save from your bed. Even if that's all it was just a save point, it would be enough for me. But I would also like it if it like, I don't know, made storms pass and stuff like that. That guy's just, oh, I thought he was just straight up flying into the ground. Okay, yeah, and then we got this little platform here. I built some supports. You don't really need to build supports in this game, but I think it just looks nicer. And then my ball of doom. Oh, I forgot there was a little room there too. Oh, goddamn. Okay. You can mine in these things, which I think is a very nice touch in this game. But what I really wanted to do, so the reason I have this card up there, cart. I call it a cart. Is because it's for golf. Hole 1, par 4. So again, let's see if I remember how to use my... Oh my god, that's the build menu. Holy shit. Okay, well, let's not get overwhelmed by that. Just right off the bat. That is also not it. Oh, is this it? No, this is something different still. Utilities, swap multi-tool. And then, how do I switch? G? Binding beam, train manipulator, the cannon. So this is not the right thing. Hold on. Sorry. Again, another thing. The menus to navigate are garbage. Absolute garbage. They did not think about this shit. Okay, we got our scatter blaster. So, of course, we've got hole 1, par 4. Where the fuck's the hole? That's right. We can't even see it from here. So this is where my cart kind of comes in, because I usually just... I don't even think I can... I don't seem to have my rocket boots anymore. It's a little upsetting. I don't really know why. I think because I was just like melee skipping all over the world. Oh my god. Best driver around. Okay, so I had actually made a couple holes. I don't know if this is the first one. This isn't like a great example of my first golf course because this was just like the testing holes basically. But I should be able to tell once I'm close enough. Hole 1, look at that. Okay, so this is hole 1. Made it right next to the town, so it had like a nice landmark to be able to shoot towards. So let's go back up. Oh, I'm sorry, sir. I'm sorry. The physics in this game are fucking hilarious. For some reason, when you're not touching the ground, you just... all physics get lost. So yeah, there's a lot that I think could be improved about this game, and honestly, like... I kind of think of it as a game that maybe can kind of set the standards for, you know, what we expect out of game developers in terms of like keeping their passion projects alive. But then on top of that, I really want them to be able to kind of set that new stone of like, what does that really mean? How would you keep this game alive? How could you keep adding to this game? Because there's so much. Like there is just genuinely so much. Okay, anyways, let's go play golf. Ooh, that's a bad first hit. Oh, it is rolling. Not the way we want it to go. Yeah, we got our super sick melee strat. Oh my god, it actually fall down this hole. Did it actually fall down this hole? My ball! Shit. Come on, buddy, you can make it. Okay, it is fucking stuck. Didn't really realize it. I have sand pits on the course. Had no idea. Had absolutely no idea. Okay, and this is just a bit of power. This is where it's actually coming from. So the one thing I like about this game, I think was probably like a pretty good aspect of it, was that you know, you like had to scan for mining spots, and then you can build these big operations in towns around them. Okay, spawn back. Okay, let's keep it a little more to the left this time. It's a beauty. It's an absolute beauty. Now I think we have to stay close for it to stay in our view. Yeah, we lost it already. Where did it go? Did they change the ball thing now? Like when it's too far away, it just despawns. I also could have sworn there used to be more shit in here. But I had my refiners in here, and I would go and I would grab my paraffin, and I would refine it. So you have your miners here, which I think is Just a nice part of the game. You got your... You can just get things, like, without really having to go around and mine things. Where the fuck did the ball go? So, you know, this is just one of the aspects I think I just didn't love about it. Like, I've made this really cool golf course, but I can't actually see the whole flag from where I'm shooting from, and it's really not that far. Like, for how big of a universe this is, from here all the way over there, not that far. But a good little touch I added. When you get it in the hole, it sings and it lights up for you. It's cool when it actually works. And I had a few little tellies around. I had like a little staircase type thing over here too, to get to my second floor of this little complex. Oh god, third person is kind of not so good in the small spaces. But we've got our little town coming into detail now. And then, you know, our little thing below it. I wanted to build this as like a lighthouse, so there is a bit of light coming from it. Although there's not as much as I remember. Yeah, I'd built this pretty massive light in it to try and make it actually work. It does okay. Doesn't really give off much light. A little number 2 sign, I thought that was a fun touch. So I wanted to have, like, you know, your number 2, and then I don't even remember where the hole is, being totally honest. I think it was this way somewhere, but I don't remember. If they fixed the distances in this game and like made it so my PC can actually load and handle all of it, like, that'd be amazing. But I think that's a lot to ask for. So we got our little, like, I don't know what I call this, like a reception almost. Look out onto the second hole, wherever it may be. And there's a lot that I wanted to do in this game. Like, one of my friends and I, we ended up building like a working dartboard, but it was one of his bases, not mine. So I can't actually get to it right now, but maybe if I join up with him sooner rather than later, then I could show it. But yeah, I just wanted to build like a little town that felt like a little more lively. Again, I really wish I could have NPCs like walking throughout. I think a good touch would be like, hey, make this bed this NPC's bed, and then they go from like stores to their bed. I don't think that's a hard aspect. And like, I think the hard part would be getting them to path properly, especially when you've got so much shit going on. But I really don't know how to change my perspective though. So no first person, but no immersion today. And then, yeah, I built a bunch of little things. I'm gonna actually just get some of this shit out of here. One aspect that I would have really loved to see is this beam. I don't want to just hold it and aim at something. It feels cheap. It feels stupid. Like for rocks, whatever, feels a bit better, I guess. For metal, I think it should like melt. I think that'd be a fun thing. But mostly I think like wood and stuff like that should be, like, I think you should be able to like cut it in half. Like, I think when you look at a tree, instead of holding it to cut it down, I think you should be able to like go from left to right like that, and then watch the tree fall down. Like, that would be so cool. Again, it would take a lot of resources that I think this game can't really handle at this moment, because like it can barely handle all this. And I don't know, I don't think realistically this is even that much. There's not like NPCs going on. I'm walking into glass. That's all. There's not like NPCs going on. Like, I've built a whole little town, but it's got, you know, nothing alive really operating in it. I do have a couple little towns. I think this was just a hole that I wanted to make sure we weren't falling in when we go and explore our little town. But and I moved a lot of these trees when I built the place, so that's another thing. A lot of things come back in this game, like the terrain. Even though it says you have so many terrain edits that you can save, it's really not that much. And it gets used up really fast, and then none of your terrain edits save, and it's really annoying. So we've got a proper trader here. He's in our little plant house. Again, I had actually thought I had built more here. I thought I had built some in the middle. So I don't think everything is saved, unfortunately. I had a little bit of pathing that I thought would be fun. A little bit of wood paths kind of hidden in the grass. We got our another trader here, an assistant. If you go around the paths, another little shop. This one's just a little house, I believe. I think we've even been in here. And then another shop up there. He's kind of a little far away, but that's kind of just his bar thing. You can actually, if you go all the way around, I should have went the other way, it's a little bit faster. If you go all the way around, there's a picnic table, there's like a little area that you can come into. You can even come into his shop from behind. Say hi to the dude. You used to be able to reach him from the bottom, so I don't know if that's still possible. Maybe in first person. And then I gave this guy a little shop too. He's our scientist. So it makes it feel a little more alive to me, you know, like it's not a lot, it's not, but it's something. Having some NPCs here, like, again, makes it just feel a bit better. I don't know if they've added more into the game where you could have NPCs like properly around, but to be honest, I just don't think so. And let's go see where our other hole is, because I'm sure if I just like get close enough, it'll show up out of somewhere. And I've got power lines coming over here, so I'm betting it's over here. Wow. And look at that, it's all kind of meshed in by accident. So I couldn't see the flag from super close. Where even is it? God, sorry, I got just really disoriented there. So I have the numbers kind of lit up, so number 2 is lit up. Or I should say the number 2. But again, like this isn't that far away. I can't even see the ball thing when I'm doing that. And we'll change it back to our scatter blaster. So like if I look this way, you know, the flag doesn't even look like it's over there. Actually, it kind of looks like it's over there. So let's see. All in wide. Oh, actually dangerously close. Holy camole, we almost did it. Wait, is it lit up? It almost looks lit up. Oh shit. Bad putt. Oh my god, now it's just flying. So I consider the driver, or the scatter blaster, to be the driver. And then for putting, I think it's actually a bit better to use the bolt caster, this guy. Get in there! Yeah, fuck yeah! Wrong hole, but it starts a bit of a jam. Okay, now let's see if we can get it in the hole it was meant to go. No! Water hazard! It's a water hazard! Somebody help! Please! Anything but the water! Oh. It went in the water. I think underwater was fairly well done in this game. The only thing that bothers me is the surface. So if I go to the surface of the water, like I just kind of float on it, and like I don't really look like I'm in it. So I don't know, I don't think they did that very well. But I do think it's really fun that I can make a golf course in this game. And one of the other aspects I wanted to make was I think it'd be really fun to make like a tennis court eventually. And like that's kind of like what I envisioned with like my home island, is that I would just eventually build like these incredible bases that just had an incredible amount of shit on it. But one thing I've noticed so far is you can actually only have one base that is shown to the world, essentially. So I can either have this base or my Coliseum be available to the world to visit, like when I have it. So like each one, you can basically set which one you want to have as, you know, that planet's base, and the one that is shown on that planet for other people. And I believe it's the Coliseum for me. And I believe it only happens when you like properly upload your base too. So if I were to go back up here, I thought I built a TP up there. I guess not. I think I made it from the first hole, or the cabin of the first hole, to that bin. We get around pretty easily just melee flying, so it's not the worst thing in the world. Plus I could literally just fly up there again if I wanted to. Or I can call in one of my exo vehicles. But I like having my little TP thing here, so goes up into this guy. Save, and this is actually just a halfway point, so that I can go up even further to where my ship is. And all this jazz. But here, I'll show you. When you go to here, and you say upload base, not only does it save the base, but it is uploading this specific base to the servers so that other people can come and visit it. So this specific base I don't have as one that people can just outright visit. It's just the Coliseum one that has that. So like it is a little sad in a sense in my eyes, because you can't like show everyone all of your bases that you built on one planet, but it does help. One scenario that I thought was so fucking funny. I found one guy who had just every single planet he had gone to, he had built the biggest bases you could ever imagine, and they weren't good. Like it was just literal walkways, nothing else. It was just a bunch of walkways, usually like over water or something. Like not even like a nice looking bridge, just a simple ass one level walkway. And he would just build everywhere. And like if I didn't know better, or if I hadn't known at the time that you only could upload one at a time. So I was wondering like why is it making so like he built like I think it was like 6 bases back to back to back, like in the same kind of space. But he's also taking up all of that land, and then he's also, which like I don't think is a bad thing, especially in these games. Like there's so much land, quote unquote, that I don't think you could ever claim it all. Even if you claimed like a whole fucking planet, like I just don't think it's possible. Another thing I would have loved to see, Discoveries panel. I want a world map, like an actual world map. Let me zoom into here, add to personal wonders. Create in your code your own personal wonder category. Oh, okay, that's kind of cool. While shit talking the game and talking about things I'd like to see, I discover something I think it's pretty cool. Adding to wonders is really cool, and then it probably helps it so you can find it a lot better on this map, because this map is kind of confusing in terms of like what you're even looking for. But good old meme ran and Taijez Major. I like that it shows your moon. I like that it shows orbiting. The only thing I don't like about this part is it's not actually orbiting. Fix that shit, No Man's Sky. I want orbits back in the game. I want gas giants. And again, if I could zoom in on this planet, and like this is one thing I really like about it. I like that there's all these waypoints, right? I can't click on one and go to it or see where it is or anything like that. I really want to be able to like scroll across the world and like have almost like a Civ type map where it just kind of like each little waypoint that you've discovered shows like that portion of the planet of land, and then people could actually like map planets. Like I think that would be so cool. And then I think it would add to like the exploration of like the whole place too, right? Like if you find all of the waypoints, you can explore the entire planet that way. Like I think that's just a very cool concept. But something they've been missing, and like I think this game needs more almost end game content, like content that is, you know, a little boring, but but will get people into the game more and get them excited about different things in the game. Like I think one thing that I've noticed is like a lot of the fauna, flora, minerals. I think there's almost too much on some planets, and I don't know if they've done that intentionally. Like sometimes it feels like what would be a pretty barren planet has way too much on it, and I think that's kind of like a blunder on their part. Like some planets might have no fauna, some might have one or two, but not every single planet is going to have 8 fucking fauna. Like it's ridiculous. Or even 17 different types of minerals. Like sometimes it might only be a couple different types of minerals. Sometimes it's like thousands of minerals, no fauna. Sometimes it's a bit of flora, a bit of fauna. Like it doesn't feel like it's mixed up enough. And I want more aspects where like I want it so that one of these doesn't exist on a planet. I think that would be very cool. But I think the way that the game is made, it's kind of structured in a way where like you can't get stranded on a planet. Like it's literally impossible. Like you're always going to be able to find launch fuel or the stuff to make launch fuel. And different things like that. But anyways, a lot that I think they could add to this game, and a lot I'd love to see from the game. And a lot that's kind of kept me away from it. And like I think it's just a matter of like none of this really feels that good, to be honest. Like it's to me it's like a jack of all trades game that kind of did everything okay, but I want to see it do everything amazingly, and that's a lot to ask, obviously. but it is what I ask of this game. I have a lot of high hopes for this game. I had a lot of potential, and from what I've seen, like it's not really made the strides that I've wanted it to in the last couple years. It's kind of just the same game. The Eye of Sauron, it's not that good, trust. I really want to show you the low grav abandoned observatory. I think that's a really fun one. I've shown you the Colosseum. And I do wonder, oh, the drop was the place. This is a picture of the drop. Wait, hold on, this is awesome. Because that's not right. That's not the one we're looking at in that picture. Okay, we only have a little bit of time. Okay, let's go to the drop. So this one was an orbital base, quote unquote orbital. Another thing I think they could really add into the game is like layers of the planet. So like I think they could have orbital bases that have to specifically be in that threshold of the orbit. Like they can't be too low, they can't be too high, they have to be in that perfect spot in order to like keep rotating around the world that it's around. I'd really like to see something like that. Just kind of get rid of these like low orbit bases. Like the low orbit bases are, I think, a lot of fun. Oh my god, that graphical glitch. The low orbit bases are a lot of fun, but it's not as true to what it could be by being like an actual orbital base that goes around the planet. Like I think that would just be something that, you know, we're not going to see, unfortunately, but it would be really cool to see. So anyways, we're on a low grav planet. We can shoot right the fuck up with this thing. And it's just, it's orbital, man. It is up here. It is fucking up here. And I have a lot of like random things kind of scattered around because I had built this. This is essentially like a little course. Wait, hold on. Let's do the course. Because if we don't, oh, wait, create new track. You're fucking with me. Well, I guess it didn't have the save points, to be fair. Okay, anyways, it was a racetrack that doesn't have the things that needs to be considered a racetrack. Okay, and you're supposed to fall onto one of those. So immediately, we've already fucked it. And we're not supposed to be falling quite yet. This isn't the thing I want to fall in. Like, it's not. I'm not even getting there fast. Help me! Oh my god. Okay, well, this was the whole point of the base, was that I could fall out of it from out of the sky. What's up, buddy? No, don't mind me. Don't mind me. I'm not even here. Okay, and yeah, I thought it would be a fun to have like a base that would be around these egg things, around my other boys. And the idea of the space is just so I can get back up to the drop. Wherever it may be. The drop. But it's just a easy way to get back. I couldn't build the other teleporter here because you can't actually teleport that far with the short range teleporters. They are short range after all. The course is kind of fucked, so I'll show you another time. We don't really have that much time. I have 5 minutes before it kicks me out. So we have like our inside here with all the power that it needs. It's got our teleporter out of here, up at the top, in case you need a quick way out. But otherwise, you go down. It is called the drop after all. Ooh, so it's like a bit of a halfway point here, just a bit of like a hollow deck type situation. And then these guys, and then you actually want to drop right off here, and you're going to go into the hole. So let's save so that we're here, in case the game kicks me out. And then you're in the lower part of the station. Got your little save point in there. And I have my mech down here. My beautiful mech. So this is the whole point of the drop. Was to give a place for our little mech. Oh, we only have a minute. Let's just do it. Give our little mech a place to drop into the world. And that's kind of like our goal, is to go to that low grav abandoned observatory with it. To get the eggs. Keep us a little bit more alive when we fight them. We don't even have to do a little jetpack at the end. It just goes for it. There's a little crater here. Let's go in the crater. Fuck it, why not? I think the exosuits were a lot of fun. They were a little hard to control when they kind of first happened. And I don't actually have... Oh, I do. I have a laser on this. A mining borer. I have a mining laser. Yeah, I thought these were really cool aspects of the game. I think it's really fun to be able to like go around and like just mine some of the shit you need. But anyways, we're gonna about to get kicked, yeah. So that's No Man's Sky, and that's specifically No Man's Sky on GeForce Now. Unfortunately, I just have the free version, so I have to literally sit in a queue every time. If I wanted to play again, I would just press this and queue right back up. The one thing I don't love about the free session queuing back up is it does this a lot. It wraps up your previous session. It's a bit annoying that it feels like it has to do this. I don't know if it's because like they literally have to kick it out of the system. Also, what is this guy? I've never seen this guy. I've never seen either of these guys. I don't know if this is like, these look like new faces to me. So it's kind of cool that they're adding more customization to the game, and like, I think it's always going to be cool that they're going to keep adding stuff to this game. I think it deserves it. I think it deserves a lot of love. Only 24, so like literally that's no one. But is it something I want to stream yet? I don't know. I really don't know. I'd like to, but the fact that I need to play it like this on PC just makes it a little less enjoyable to me. I don't like fucking around with all the menus on your controller, although I kind of like the aspect of some of the building menus feel a bit cleaner for controller, and it feels a little bit too intended for controller in my opinion. Which is fine. Like, I like that it plays well on controller. I just want it to play well on both. And yeah, having to kind of like scroll through my menus the way it does isn't the best, but Something I love to see. I love this little icon thing. That ship looks really cool too, actually. And they've added some ships with like these shields on them. This dreadnought looks really cool. It's got like a path that you can fly into on it. I haven't seen one of those yet. This guy, the head looks really good on that. I love the capes and stuff. The capes was a good addition. Like in terms of the looks of the game and what they're adding to it in terms of like character customization, like I like it. I like what I'm seeing. Like these are really cool. The giant worms are pretty intense when you run into them. There's a lot of like really fun things in this game that I think make it fucking amazing. And I would really like to do. I think personally I would like to do like a permadeath run that I would stream because I had one permadeath run ages ago. I'm talking ages ago. I don't even remember how long ago. And it gave me the most solid memories that I think I'll ever have of this game. Like I truly remembered everything I did in that run. And it felt really cool. Like it felt like some things that I was discovering, like I was discovering for the first time. And like I think the permadeath saves are really cool. And I don't know if it's a whole different universe for the permadeath saves. I think that'd be really cool. And it does kind of seem that way because when you go into the worlds and stuff, I don't know if it's putting you in places where it doesn't have normal players or a lot of players because you usually don't find that much. But when you do find stuff that like other people have found, you're like, wow, like holy shit, another player was here and like survived for a bit. How long we don't know. But permadeath is probably one of my favorite touches of the game. It kind of makes you explore a little bit more of the game as well. Like there's cooking in this game and there's stuff like that. Like there's a decent amount to it, and like I'd love to show it all, and I'd love to see it, but I think I will kind of wait. Maybe just once I have an actual flow of income, um, then I'd consider getting it again. But at the moment, I am unfortunately in between things, so it's just not really in the books for me. But I will work with the free version again. Like having the queue up isn't that bad, especially like during a time like now, only 25 players to sit in front of you. Like that is quite literally nothing. Like I can maybe even think up some things that we could do stream wise, to kind of cover those small periods of us waiting. Even like my phone game stuff, like I have it so I can like throw it onto my PC. Or I can even do PS4 games. I could do that. It doesn't seem to affect PS4 games. I can even play like a whole another PC game. That's the one thing I actually really love about GeForce Now on my computer specifically, is it's not taking up all the bandwidth that it would usually take to run like a full game, or not even bandwidth but memory or GPU, whatever it's called, RAM. I don't know what it is that it's taken up, but it's not taking up much of it because it lets you run and like stream a game to yourself while you're like I had No Man's Sky open on my PS4 and I probably could have kept it open. The reason why I didn't was just so the noise doesn't go through both ways, but yeah, it's a fun game. I think there's a lot to it. They've added a bit since I've kind of been back. So I'd like to be back and forth a couple more times. I don't really know how much. I don't know how often I'm gonna do it where I do it for longer than an hour. Again, like I think it might come down to how long the queues are when I want to play. Because streaming wise, I think it's gonna be a lot better to be doing on PC. And like I might leave it on my PS4 just for a while, see if I actually enjoy it as a go to bed game. Because like I do kind of enjoy it as a go to bed game, but at the same time, like there's so much to do, and if I don't have everything built already, like, and I can't explore that from my PS4, then I don't really want to go through the faff of building it all again with a controller. It doesn't really feel that worth it to me. It's a lot easier for me to do things on PC in this game. I think the menus just kind of fitted a bit better, and there's a lot I'd love to see in this game. Like I know it's not really a realistic game, but I would love to see a bit of realism when it comes to like cutting the trees down. Like I said, like I want to be able to glide my beam through the tree and see it fall. I think that'd be so cool. And like what else would I love to see? I think that's one of the main things I'd like to see. Oh, the second main thing is like with it being a VR game, I really want to be able to, when it comes to like building these ships, I want to do very specific things with it. Okay, so first you make the piece. I think that's an awesome addition that you can craft the piece and like you make it, you have it in your inventory, you put it into the system. I think that's awesome. Where I want to see change is I want it to be less pushing of buttons, more interacting with interfaces. So what I mean by that is instead of like just building a ship where you pick all these parts and then press a assemble button, I would like to pick all these pieces and then literally have to weld them together in order for my ship to get like an S grade or like like because S grade ships are very rare and they shouldn't just be something that someone could make. So I think having it so that like you have to do a mini game to get your welding to be S tier. And then even with that, like let's say your ship is a C tier, pretty shit. Maybe you did a horrible job welding it. I think that'd be a fun addition to make it so that when you're teleporting through these galaxies and like how it sometimes like breaks something, I think that'd be a fun addition to add into that component because like if it's an S tier ship and you've done really good welding, it's not going to break as often. But if it's C tier, you did absolute shit job welding, it'd be terrible. And when I say like a welding minigame, I kind of remind myself of something that I might actually even play and re-download on my PS4 soon here. The Warriors, great game, old game, beyond its time. It's it's kind of graphically not there anymore, but the premise of the game was amazing. And the one thing I really loved about it was the spray painting little mini game that was involved in it. Like it almost felt like it had like not a lot to do with the game, but it was this good little addition that like it was just a mini game. It was just literally like putting your cursor along a line in a certain design, and you could easily do the same thing with shipbuilding and welding. I would also like to see like scrapping ships to be a bit more intense as well. So like when I say I want my multi tool to be able to like cut through trees and stuff, it should be able to cut through ships as well and make those ships into smaller pieces so that we can shove it into like some kind of incinerator that's like on the outside of a space station. Like how cool would that be? Like the thing that reminds me of this is Shipwreckers, the game. So literally all you do, you're a ship guy in space, you break down the ships into smaller pieces, you shove them into the incinerator, and like they made a whole game based off that. If you added something like that into it, it could be amazing. It could be so amazing. So like I'd love to see something like that. And will we? I don't know. I think there's a lot of ideas that are there, and I don't know if they're latching on to necessarily the right things. Because like they've added a little bit of character customization, and I do think that was kind of needed. I'd like to see even more races, even more customization. I think with their expeditions and the way that they've kind of framed them already, I think it fits well with it. Like if you want these cosmetics, you go through these expeditions. Where I don't agree with expeditions again is like I don't want them to be time gated as much. Even if they are time gated, make it so this person can choose when to initiate their own or something like that. Like, because maybe you can initiate an expedition with your friends. So like let's say you have a group of friends that has this specific time to do this specific expedition that they might have missed. It'd be nice to like be able to initiate that at pretty much any time that you could or wanted to. But instead it's just time gated. It reminds me of like even Valorant and like the battle passes in Valorant. Like it's very, I shouldn't say it's like it's not easy to get to the end of those things. If you spend a decent amount of time playing their game and mostly their game, you probably will finish it. But again, the time aspect of like not understanding that some people have lives, some people really, really love your game and really, really want these things from your game. But real people with real jobs. Sometimes people just can't book off a week to do an expedition. Like it's fucking insane that a lot of developers expect this out of their player base. And I'd like to see that kind of go away. I think the only reason why it doesn't is because they need that player base to stick around in order for them to keep making money. And it used to be, make a new game to make that money. Make a new game. You've done with this game, go make a new one. And I think we're at the point now when technology is advancing so much that the games that people want to make will get better throughout technology getting better. Because like something like No Man's Sky, my computer can't really handle this game. But someone else's that has, a brand new high-tech computer, something a little bit more modern, is probably going to run it a lot better than me. Maybe they have a better rendering distance than me. I don't know. But I know when I play with friends on like PS4 or something, it looks closer to what I'm looking at, where the render distance isn't great. It's got its technical limitations, and as much as I want to blame it on game development, they've done something amazing here, where they've had like a truly open universe, and I've seen some games follow suit, try to do some similar things, maybe fail. Like EVE Online, I don't think is a great game in my opinion. I think they've done a good job of making things pretty realistic, but I think it's a little bit too restricting in terms of like there's only a certain amount of ships that you can have. You have to buy those ships. You can't actually make those ships. Like I think giving as many tools to your community as possible is how you can make a game really good. So like one thing I'd like to see from No Man's Sky as well is like there is a modding community around No Man's Sky, but it's not on Steam and it's not through the Steam Workshop. It's not through easy means. It's through people going through like Nexus mods or something like that, and that's just a little less accessible, I think, in my mind. Because like a lot of people don't necessarily do that. A lot of people, if they can't find mods on Steam Workshop, they're probably not going to use them. So I think having like it be accessible, make it be easy, is the best route that any developer can take. And like I'd love to see what else they do in this game, because there's a lot that I'd love to do, and there's a lot of bases that I've built that I'd like to revisit, and it was a fun, chill game. It kind of like, I shouldn't say it reminds me of Stardew Valley, but I've been playing a lot of Stardew Valley with the lady, and it reminds me of the cozy atmosphere of it. Like it's relaxing. It is a little stressful in my mind, where like there's other things going on. You got to take care of your life support, whatever. But in the grand scheme of things, it is quite relaxing. And I like it for that. Like I like to be able to have a game where I can just exist in a universe and breathe for a moment or two, and see what it's got up its sleeve. But we have a lot on GeForce Now library. This is the whole thing here, so I don't know if I have all of these games per se, but I have most of them. And you have to own the game in order to play it on GeForce Now. But if you want to play for free, all you gotta do is wait in a queue, and I don't think it's that bad, to be honest. If you're playing during like non-peak times, that 25 player, like, what was it, maybe 2 to 5 minutes at most, so it's really not bad. The only aspect I maybe don't love about it is I can't really play like my modded games or anything like that. So like if I was gonna play Fallout 4, I couldn't play it modded, so I probably wouldn't play Fallout 4 on GeForce Now. 76, I actually have it downloaded, so that I don't have to wait in a queue to play it. But like I'd rather just play it from here and not have it downloaded and not have to worry about it. The finals, great free game. It did pretty good when it came out, actually. But I don't know if GeForce could even handle it. It seems kind of laggy on GeForce, so I don't like love it on GeForce. Dragon's Dogma is one I'd love to visit again. Dragon Age Inquisition is one I'd love to visit again. These are kind of games that like you get really far into them, then you forget what you're doing, and when you go back, you have to start from the beginning. So that's probably the course I'm going to take with a lot of these games. If I ever find anybody willing to play some Left 4 Dead, I would love to have a little bit more Left 4 Dead action in there. These are some great old games. Mordau is a pretty fun one that I quite enjoyed. But honestly, if I'm just being real with you, too many racists play this game. Too many racists. They make it so you can't make a black guy in the game, and apparently that just attracted all of the incels in the world. So a bunch of racists play that game. So it's not really a great vibe. It kind of reminds me of where is it? It's on here somewhere. Rainbow Six Siege, wherever it is. Here we are. Rainbow Six Siege. Great game, beautiful game, so much detail, so many great things about it. Worst fucking community I've ever experienced. They are so bad, man. It's crazy. If they don't know, if you go into the game, it's even like unranked game. This could be like a quick play, the quick play of this version of game. 5 rounds, goes as fast as it possibly can. People will still sweat their asses off. They're going to be upset if you don't know every single corner of the map, and People are shooting you through the floorboards at the lowest level of the game. So not only are you worrying about left, right, you have to worry about up, down. And, I don't care about that aspect of the game. I actually think it's really cool that you can shoot through the floorboards. I think that's a great aspect. I think it adds that kind of other dimension to the game. But for the love of God, your community is so shit. Just so fucking shit. I don't care. Like, no one plays this game as much as the community that plays it. And the people that want to join in for like a game or two just have the worst fucking experience because you have the worst community. Because you've just harbored it. And like, I don't know how. Like, I don't know if there's not a reporting system. I don't know if they just have no way how to get rid of toxic people. Or if they have no idea how to manage them. Like, I don't know. To me, it's not that hard. If someone's toxic in your game, quick ban. But it depends how toxic too, right? Like if they're just shitting on someone for whatever reason, who cares? If they're mad that someone doesn't know the map, who cares? But if they're like literally getting racist with you because you don't know every corner of the map because this guy hasn't touched grass in 13 fucking years, like, I'm sorry, I have other shit to do. I have other games to play. Look how many games are here. Like, I'm not just gonna sit here playing Siege all day. Like, it just rots your fucking mind. It's like playing Valorant all day. Like, I can feel it literally rotting my mind. Play something that gets your brain involved, please. Own a zoo. Make a prison. I don't know. Anything other than just first-person shooters constantly. Like, it'll literally expand your brain. Anyways, rant over. Northgard I would love to play again. I think it was actually a really well done game. It's a quicker game too. More real-time strategy. I don't love real-time strategy just because I like to be able to pause my game sometimes and walk away from it or save it, walk away from it. And real-time kind of just, the more you walk away from it, the less you're going to remember, the more kind of out of it you get. And it's just not the best experience. Played Up would be a fun like streaming one that I would love to do. Because you can actually set it up with people streaming, but you can't do it on GeForce Now. Very upsetting. There is some limitations with GeForce Now, which is, again, like, you're not really going to have modded games through here. When it comes to Played Up, you're not going to be able to have Twitch integration from here. You have to have that just downloaded on your computer if you want to do that. RimWorld is a great one. Obviously, Slay the Spire, absolute sleeper. Rocket League, who knows? I could jump in that every once in a while. I showed you the Sideswipe one, and I enjoy the shit out of it. Rust, I genuinely, I do really like Rust. And again, it comes down to that aspect of why does it have to wipe every month? Like, I think you can have some servers that don't. But there's also, they added things in, like, there's servers where you can keep your blueprints from other seasons. So, like, as long as you get the materials still, you don't have to go around, like, finding all the blueprints, which I think is, like, the perfect middle ground. The absolute perfect middle ground. Because it's enough to kind of keep me into the game where I feel like I can go back to it and, like, still have a bit of progress that was made from my previous time in the game. But I think when it comes to something where I'm building something, anything, I want to be able to save it, and I want to be able to come back to it, and I want to be able to like explore that. And I think that's what takes away from Rust for me, is I can't build things and I can't keep it and I can't come back to it. Because like I wanted to build a Coliseum in Rust as well, not just No Man's Sky. And I wanted to have it so like it was part of the lobby that people came to just have their PvP moments. Like whenever I want to go shit on someone, go shit on them in the arena. It's fun. So like I remember I spent maybe 1 or 2 days building that arena, like actual days. I went ham on it. I didn't even sleep. Like it was like I just wanted to get it done. I wanted to make something cool for the community. And then I finished it as much as I could. I hope someone else finished it off, but then I just never played on that server again. And like from my memory, Rust wipes every month. And like that is ridiculous. Every month. Every month. I think what it curates is it makes your community feel like they have to play this game and only this game. And I don't like people that are like that. If I'm just being honest. If you're a person that is just very one game minded, I just don't like it. I don't like it. It just, what it shows to me is that you have no standard of what a good game could be. And that you have nothing like outside your mind of like, I want this perfect game. and this is the only frame that fits it. Like, you need to be more open-minded, because there's probably other games that have that framework that could make something amazing. So like No Man's Sky, like, yeah, I'm really stuck on that one, but I've given consideration to Star Citizen. I've given consideration to EVE Online, and like, I haven't played EVE Online. I haven't played Star Citizen. I haven't actually like sat down and played them. But I've watched people, and I've watched, you know, the comparison No Man's Sky, EVE Online. To be honest, in my mind, I would just rather spend less time traveling between planets. I don't care if it's realistic in that aspect. I'd rather have a little bit more choice of variety in my ships, even if it's, you know, still kind of limited. And I want more things to do. Like, they have, you can go and like do raids at certain bases in EVE Online now. It took a long time for them to get to that spot, and then even once they got there, a lot of people were saying like it wasn't done very well. The gunplay didn't feel good. That's one thing about No Man's Sky. Like, the gunplay feels awful. It feels fucking awful. I don't like it, and I'd like to see more melee in it too. Like, it's a VR game, and I can't have a laser axe cutting down my trees. You tell me you can't think of a laser axe cutting down trees have a little melee. Like, instead of giving your multi-tool a gun right off the bat, give them like a multi-tool axe. It turns into a sword, and then it turns into a pick or something like that. Like, give us a little bit of that old school touch. Like, don't jump right into something that is so over the top that it just doesn't, like, I don't know, it doesn't feel good. Like, I don't, when I want to mine something in No Man's Sky, like, I almost wish I got to that point instead of just being given that point, if that makes sense. And like, the mining right off the rip isn't good anyways. Like, it takes a long time. You know, you overheat fast and everything. But oh well. So a couple more games. War for the Overworld, I think, is a really, really fun one. Again, with that real-time strategy, I think I'd like to play it again for that reason. The Witcher 3, I'd love to go through. I actually have 1 and 2 here. I've never played the first 2, but I do own them. And I remember booting up the first one. And here's what happened. I boot up the first one, and there's a cutscene or some shit that lasts literally a fucking hour. So I couldn't get to the first save before GeForce would kick me out. It was annoying. But we'll consider it again. War Tales is actually a pretty fun one. It reminds me of like Darkest Dungeon or something like that. It's a little bit closer to XCOM than Darkest Dungeon, but it's kind of it doesn't have like a lot to it either. It's not like the most extensive game from what I've seen so far. Like, you kind of have the same beginning every time. But it's got a nice little map, and like the movement throughout the map feels really good. The movement in the fight feels pretty good, but I don't like how the fights start. So like, I love that, like, you know, there's this whole aspect. I wish there was a bit more cover involved. Like, there's no cover in this game, like no half cover, no full cover, which is something that's usually pretty iconic in these kind of games. But you just don't see it. The one thing I like about it a little bit more though, you see how it's not squares. Like, it's not perfect squares. It's just your character is a square and they fit in that kind of realm. So you could literally have like 6 people around this one guy, and still be able to hit him, because you need like a flat against a flat at the very least. It still has to have some kind of connection there. But at the start of each battle, you're kind of just put into a random spot, and I don't really like that. Like, I want there to be a bit more preamble, where you can like pick the spots. I shouldn't say that it's random spots. You can pick the spots, but it's very, very limited. So like, you have like a box here, a box there, and a box there that you can pick from, and maybe a box over here. And you're like, okay, we'll put my 3 main guys over here and my 1 more stealthy guy over here, but he could still die. Just based off, you know, how the scenario plays out. But yeah, War for the Overworld is a really good one. I think I'd really like to be in there. Tomb Raider, great fucking game. This is one of the newer ones, but I think it was like the first of the newer ones, and I think they actually crushed it out of the park with that one. I'm not gonna lie. So I'd like to come back to it. I don't think it's the most replayable game, if I'm being honest. So I don't know how into it I'll be. I think I want to give it a bit more time before I get back into it. This is the Police is a pretty fun one. I think I'd like to do 1 or 2 on that one, just to kind of, you know, explore it again. It was a fun story. It was a good idea. Terraria, more of a bedtime one. I don't really play that much. I don't think I'll really play it on stream either. I don't know enough about it where I think I could even progress enough. Or I don't even know if I would enjoy it enough really either. I like the 2D aspect. I like what they've created with the game. I think I would like it better on PC. So like I think I would play it on GeForce Now, but again, just doesn't feel as smooth to me. I think it's mostly because I played on controller the first time. It was like it felt really iffy with the building, but of course the building is going to be way better on PC. So you know, like maybe I'll try it again. I kind of like those kind of games where your mouse is your aimer, anyways. Um, and I like the aspect of it. Like I like my Minecraft type games. I like my No Man's Skies. I like my Explore the World, Mine, all that. And then of course Trackmania. Trackmania is one that I really want to play all the time. Really, it's an amazing game. Fort Triumph is kind of the like an XCOM type game. Going Medieval is a really genuinely good game. And I think they added water into this one. It's more of a it's like a city builder, city defender, where people will come and attack you and you gotta defend it. It's really good actually. I'll definitely play that one again, so you'll see it. Deep Rock Galactic I think is a classic. I'd love to get into that one once or twice more, maybe with a couple buddies or something. It's not really one that I would play too much on my own, I don't think. Especially again, it's like one of those games where like if someone's been playing this, they've been playing it and it alone for years, and they probably enjoy it, but they probably also expect the people that they're playing with to be at a certain level that I'm just not at. So it makes it little less enjoyable. It is very much like Siege in that way. Like Siege, people expect you to know the maps and expect you to know all the nooks and the crannies, but you know when you're a casual gamer and you're going back and forth between these games, I'm not gonna know that shit. Sorry. Clanfolk I thought was a pretty good one. Kind of reminds me of RimWorld, but in the kind of medieval era. Pretty decently well done, but it was very bare bones last time I saw it. So again, I think I'd like to give it another try. I might wait a little bit longer for that one because again, it's work in progress. Kind of gives me Imperial Ambition vibes where it'll be a game that I'll come in back and forth from. Balloons DD. No, fuck balloons, man. Great game, honestly, but just not for me. Darkest Dungeon we're probably never going to play on here because I have it on the PC and I have mods on it. I got a lot of mods. Don't really want to fuck with that. Darkest Dungeon 2, I really actually want to see the new stuff they added, the Kingdom stuff. I think that's really cool that they've added more to the game and a little bit more that gives it like the aspect of Darkest Dungeon 1 where I don't know, the dungeon going through the dungeon itself was an experience. So I kind of like that they've kind of added that back into the game, so I'd like to see it a little bit more. Absolute Drift, Zen Edition, and Art of Rally are fucking amazing racing games. I'll definitely actually do those ones. Absolute Zen or Absolute Drift Zen Edition I could probably get done pretty fast. So I might do them somewhat close to each other. I don't know, when I do Art of Rally, I don't know if I'll go through the whole game. I think I'll get through like a good chunk and then I'll probably stop and come back to it eventually because that's kind of what I do with some of these games. There's another racing game on mine too. It's called Flat Out. It's actually a really good game. It's on my PS4 and that's one that I'm going to show eventually. Got Baldur's Gate and Battlefield. I don't know if I'll ever stream Baldur's Gate until like way down the line. It's a very big game. There's a lot of story, a lot going on. And again, for someone that's kind of casual, like I'm going back and forth between games too much. I can't really have too many that my headset just turned off for no reason. I can't really go through too many that are story intense at the same time. So I've been making a list. I've been checking it twice. I've been kind of thinking about what games I want to do, which order I want to do them in. I think for right now, you're kind of getting me at my most raw because this is just how I game. I tend to go really back and forth between my games. I tend to lose my focus. I tend to forget where I am in the game and restart them. But I'm going to try not do that as much as I can streaming wise because I think that would make for a bunch of bad videos if it's just me repeating the same shit over and over again. So I think that's kind of why I like streaming in this aspect too, because it's going to make me properly progress through games instead of me making a good chunk of progress, forgetting about the game for a year, and then picking it back up and restarting. But what we have on the docket, I've played Bloodborne, I've played Overwatch. I'm probably done with Overwatch, I'm not gonna lie. I've uninstalled it on the computer again. I was only had it installed because I have one friend, well, a couple friends actually, who just, they're only on console, they don't have a PC. And it's just one of the games that's cross-play that we can play together. I might even try to get that specific friend to join me in No Man's Sky or something like that again, because I love No Man's Sky. I think it's a bit better in terms of sociability, as we're actually like talking to each other, engaged in conversation, all that. Overwatch, it's like Val, you're kind of more engaged in the game than you are talking to your friend half the time, and that's not really the vibe I like. I'd rather be a bit more social. But Bloodborne, we went pretty much all the way through the game. The only people we didn't beat are Margot's wet nurse and the last boss, which I'm kind of debating whether or not I want to go back to this year. Because the only reason I was really doing it was for the Return to Yharnam. I really wanted to just PvP with a bunch of people. Or not PvP, but PvE with a bunch of people, help them get through bosses. Maybe help people who haven't been through the game before explore this for the first time. And it'd be cool, like, to help people get through it for the first time, have those experiences. And I thought I had a pretty good build, and we were kind of crushing through the game anyways. So I might go back. I might try to just beat those last two bosses and finish the Chronicles of Sir Silver for 2024, but at the same time, maybe I'll just reuse him next year and just kind of start where we left off. But I don't know if that's really in the spirit of Return to Yharnam, because I think the whole point of the Return to Yharnam is everyone starts a new player, everyone helps those new players that are joining for the very first time kind of get through the game again and have that kind of experience where everyone's experienced the game for the first time again. Because like when you start with this older character, you're already at a higher soul level or echo level, I guess, in this game, and then you're just ahead of everybody, and you can't really, I don't think you can PvE with people that are a certain amount of levels away from you, so you have to be closer. So like it makes sense to start a new character, so that's probably what I want to do next year anyways. And like maybe I'll keep him just on the back burner so that if I ever kind of want to go back to Bloodborne within this year, I got Sir Silver in my pocket. Oh my god, I let one out. Let one right out my butt. Okay, anyways. We got Dark and Darker, we got Valo. Valo's been my like bit of a brain melt game. It's been something that like throughout the years, it's been it's taken over Overwatch for me in that respect, where I used to be able to come home from a long day at work. I used to work like 3 jobs at one point. And it was just a game that I could jump into and not really think about, where I was, what I could be doing, what objectives there are. Like, it was simple, get in, click a few heads, get out. And that's, what I like about Val, what I liked about Overwatch as well. I think the reason why I kind of gravitated towards Val is I like the economy side. I like that it's like CSGO, but I like that it has like the abilities and the heroes and stuff too. I think that's just makes it a bit more deep of a game, makes it a bit more fun, gives a bit more challenge of actually like balancing the game with the development. And I like that CSGO got an update. I like that they updated the graphics, updated the smokes. Wow. I think that was very good of them. But I wish them and Overwatch didn't go the same route, because I think calling it Overwatch 2 or Counter-Strike 2, but completely abolishing the old game and like not making the old game even available to anyone. Like, it's not the second game. You've just updated the first game. That's all you've done, and you've taken away the first game. So that really upsets me. I think if you're gonna do something like that, like you don't do it 5 years into your game being out. You just either remaster it, say it's a remaster, don't throw a 2 on it. Like, even Counter-Strike, if you're gonna throw a 2 on it, there better be new maps and new whatever. It should play like a different game, and Counter-Strike 1 should still be available. And I think it is. I'm not quite sure on the whole Counter-Strike scene, but I know Overwatch-wise, they just completely got rid of Overwatch 1. Overwatch 2 is all there is now. Kind of upsets me. Yeah, we've done 1 episode of Dark and Darker. I'd like to get back into it. It's kind of like, that PvP type game where I can jump in, not really think about my objectives too much, kind of just get into it. So I think that and Valo might be games that I go back and forth with in terms of like sociability even. I think that's what it helps with. I might treat Fallout 76 the same way too. It's a bit of a PvP game in that sense. There's people in the game. If I'm feeling a little bit more talkative that day, maybe that's a game I could jump into as well. We got our home Lord of the Rings. Heroes of Middle Earth. It's leaving us soon, so I'm not too worried. That one's gonna be off the docket soon. I don't think it's made for great content anyways, but I've enjoyed it. I've genuinely enjoyed it, just as a game in general and playing it in general. And I think the only frustration that lies with it is that it's a phone game. It just doesn't feel like it should be taking as much time as it does. But alas, it won't take any time after it's gone. So a little less to worry about. I do want to jump in Elden Ring a little bit just to try and get my characters ready for the DLC, because that would be nice. God of War is something I started, and I actually have to rename the video because it's just called God of War it's called Gimme God of War full playthrough. It's not a full playthrough. It's like the first fucking hour. So if I'm gonna have full playthrough, I either gotta add part 1 on the end, or I'll just have like more creative names as we go along. But I don't know. I think we'll just go Give Me God of War, and then part 2, part 1, all that jazz. But that's something I want to try and. I don't want to finish it before the DLC comes out for Elden Ring because I don't think I'm going to. But I think it would be nice to get into it a little bit again and just kind of use my newfound powers to help me in Elden Ring. Make me feel like the God of War for a bit. Darkest Dungeon is a game I always kind of come back and forth to, and it's kind of same with Fallout 4. Like a lot of the games that I've chosen to show, I think I've chosen to show for that reason, because these are games that I come back and forth with. No Man's Sky is a game I come back and forth with. Like, it's a great game, but I want to see more added to it. And then when it comes to FromSoft, it's just because I love those games and I'm gonna go back to them anyways. I like the feel of melee combat a lot of the times in those games. And sometimes I just like the feel of clicking heads, and I think that's why I like Val and stuff like that so much too. But things like these comes and go. I don't know what games I'm gonna play, when I'm gonna play them, but I am starting to plan it out a little bit more. But for the most part, like I don't want to plan it out too much. Like it is, just life. Life is unpredictable. I don't really know what game I'm gonna be craving any given day. And I think it's best that I play games that I'm going to enjoy that day and not just something that I feel obligated to play. And today, like, I don't know, I felt kind of obligated to just go back in and see what had been done. And again, I'm pretty unimpressed, if I'm not lying. Like, there's a lot that I'd love to see added to the game, and it's been so long. Like, I'm pretty sure this game came out when I was, like, in high school. So I'd like to see more added, and I'd like to see like a little bit more passion into it. And I think one of the interviews that Monsieur Sean Murray gave, I think a couple years ago now, was he kind of like had that thought of like, well, what's next for us? What's that next picture kind of look like? And then they're already looking towards their next game, and it's like, I say already working towards their next game. They should be. It's going to help them build the income that they need to keep themselves on the floor. But I really think they should never stop working on No Man's Sky. They should never. I think it's absolutely going to be like a Lord of the Rings type game where it can exist for a really long time. People are going to want to add into the universe themselves. The lore itself and the writing itself isn't necessarily good, but I think like it's also hard to say that when you don't have a lot of the dialogue unlocked. I like that you have to learn the languages. I like a lot of aspects of the game. I think they've done a very good job making a game that feels like it's a bare minimum of a lot of things. But again, I want them to just keep scratching that surface. Like, don't keep us at the bare minimum of all these things. Like, go deeper, get involved, get really, I don't know, get inspired. Just get inspired. Get better. It's like I don't know, it's like when people tell me Canada's the best country in the world. I don't care what country is the best country in the world. I don't think any country should ever feel like the best country in the world, because that just means you're going to stagnate your process or your progress. Like, I want Canada to slowly get better throughout time and to slowly become the best version of itself, and I don't think we're there yet, and I don't know if we'll ever be. And that's the whole point of aiming for the best version of yourself, is to know it's out there, but that you might never reach it, and like you don't really know what it looks like. And that's for the fun of the debate. Like, what does it look like? How do we get there? So I'd like to see that for this game. Hopefully we see it one day. It depends. It depends on who they listen to and what crowd they want to listen to. You know, same goes for Dark and Darker devs. Like, if they want to keep listening to the tunnel vision community that they have and not, you know, the casual fan base that they're trying to attract and really grow their audience into, then, you know, that's what they're going to keep around. They're just going to keep around those sweaties. And, you know, the game will slowly kind of disappear into nothing. But you see that with a lot of games anyways. Like, Siege is kind of on that downward spiral. Like, it's been on that downward spiral for years. The only people that play are the people within the community. I think Overwatch has kind of been there for a long time too. The only people that went into Overwatch 2 were people probably from Overwatch 1, or people that were like interested in the game beforehand anyways. And I don't know, I feel like you see that with a lot of games. And I wish we didn't. I wish we didn't. Like, I think there's been some great gems out there. And I think a lot of games are always going to have their problems. Like, I'd actually really love to be in Kingdom Come Deliverance again. That was a great game. Combat was a little shaky on my part, but that's because I'm bad at it, not because it's a bad combat system. Like Fallout, I think Fallout gets a lot of like praise for what it is. I'm not gonna lie, it's janky. The movement's janky. Things don't always like feel right in the game. But I like in my opinion, I like just the view of the third-person camera. I think it's at a good distance. I like the building in the game. I like the aspect that you can build and explore. I like that there's like different aspects of how you can play the game, just the way like all the different builds can go. And like to me, like I think what makes a really good game is that when people want to play it for a long time and they want to get into it, they have those things available to them. And then I think when it comes to the casual community, you know, all these things are available to the casual community. They're just not in their face. And like, if you don't want to do every build, you don't have to do every build. If you don't want to explore the whole variety of the game, you don't have to. You can explore a couple houses, never go another foot out of Sanctuary, and just keep building up Sanctuary. Like, I think that's just a good part of the game. Lets people play it in their own way. And I'd like to see that from, like, you know, certain games like No Man's Sky. Like, let me play in a lot of different ways. Let me make it more engaging. And let's find ways and have conversations to do that, or else it's just going to stagnate and be what it is forever. And, you know, that's fine. It can be what it is, but I want to see better. I'm always going to want to see better. And I'm always going to expect better. So, will we get it? Nobody knows. Nobody knows. I've shown you the GeForce Nows. I've shown you No Man's Sky. I've shown you the queue to get us in there. Only 25 people today, not that bad. Sometimes it can be like 200 to 400, so it can get up there, but it's not usually too bad, especially during non-peak hours. Like, you can get in and out of games pretty easy. So, you know, we might see No Man's Sky come, you know, here and there. But I don't know if I'm ever actually going to make progress in the game, and that's what makes me feel like I'm not going to stream it. It's just, I don't know what I'm doing in that game anymore. I'm exploring. I've made the things that I wanted to make. There's a couple more things I'd love to make, like an actual working golf course, but like, is it worth it when we can't even see the flags? I don't know. I just don't know. Maybe one day I'll show you the dartboard, though. The dartboard was pretty cool. But again, it's got a bit of that draw distance. Like, it's really not that far from where we shoot it, but it just doesn't let you see it. So we'll see. We'll see if I'm back in No Man's Sky. I'd love to. I think it's a great game. I love to be back in the world. It's just it's chill. It's nice to, you know, not really do anything and just look at a view for a while. So I'll be back. I'm not sure when, not sure how long, not sure how often. And there's probably gonna be a lot of other games that are gonna take its place. But when I want to chill, I might come back. Until then, peace out. See you. Maybe next time. Bye.